All right. Good night, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Comics Asylum Live with Jay and Steve, and we have got a bevy of guests this evening. Good night, everybody. I guess from the top, we'll go with Jerome. Say hey.
Hey.
We've got Travis next to him.
Yo.
Brian underneath me. This is like Hollywood Squares almost. Stony, you're in the middle. Chuck is on, I guess, the right, and then we've got co-host Jay. You're propping us all up.
Lot of beards tonight. It's a beardy night tonight.
Yeah, and I shaved. I should have kept mine.
No, you got the shadow. It's all good.
Yeah, I got the.
Oh, and the dog approves.
Absolutely, with my Sonny Crockett beard. It's all good. All right, so we are blessed with having a wide range of guests tonight, and they have a very special campaign going, and there's a few days left, and they're almost at their goal. So our goal is to get them over the hump. Hopefully we can get some more pledges and some more backers for you guys tonight. So Travis, since you are kind of like the point person on this, can you tell us about Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales?
Yeah, so Cthulhu Invades is a series we've been doing for a long time. You know, we've invaded various places, Neverland and Oz, and I have Wonderland here somewhere, but we invaded there too. So we've been doing it for a little bit, invading these various places with Cthulhu, kind of mismatching the stuff as anthologies. And our newest one is Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales, which is the start of our new trilogy, because we did one trilogy already, the start of our new one. And we're invading various fairy tales. So in this book, we have, some of the classics, Goldilocks, Cinderella, Snow White, Little Red Riding Hood, lots of really cool ones, Ugly Duckling, Rumpelstiltskins, lots of really, really cool stories that are connected with some really high-level talent in the indie scene.
Excellent. And how long have you been doing the Cthulhu Invade series?
I just got a copy of Oz, and it said we started it in 2020. So we're going on our 5th year next year. So in 4 years, we've been doing basically one a year is what it translates to. It's wild. It doesn't seem like that, but it is.
Excellent. And how many creators do you normally get in the anthologies?
We normally get about 100, really, because we've got several teams. We've got 20 teams in this one. Each of them have at least 3 members. Sometimes they have four. So we have a lot. So it's a lot of creators that have come in.
Excellent. And so let's get to the team. Jerome, what is your role in this collective?
Well, basically, I'm putting. I do the lettering. That's the first part of probably all the stories, at least most of them. And when all is done, I'm putting the book together and designing all the extra pages and all that stuff.
Okay, excellent. And Brian, we'll move down to you. Brian, what do you got going on in this?
I handled art on the Owl in the Barn story, also called Tall Tales, written by Chuck over there, over Stony. Yeah, over there. Yeah, so that's what I did on this one. I first anthology I've ever done. I'm literally just breaking back into comics after being a stay-at-home dad. So I'm having a lot of fun, and I was really blessed to be part of this.
Excellent. And so we'll move over to Stony. Stony.
Yeah, I wrote the Robert Bridegroom for this one. Yeah.
Excellent. So we're going to dig into these a little bit later, but we're just doing some introductions now. And then Chuck.
On the other side of Brian. Brian and I, Travis was very nice to invite me in, and I didn't know what to do, and I had to write multiple scripts until I understood what the book was about. And I was lucky enough to have Brian as the artist on it, because my gosh, that is incredibly great, fast work, Brian.
Thank you.
Amazing. So Travis, what goes into curating? What stories get into the edition?
So it's all me. Obviously in the other ones it was easier because prior to this book we would do characters. So everybody would get a character. So if you were doing Neverland, someone would get Peter, someone would get Tink, someone would get Hook, et cetera, et cetera. For this one, it's kind of the same way. So everyone would get a story. So we separated it. This is the start of a new trilogy, like I said. So there's 3 volumes. So I broke up the major stories. So we have the 5 major characters, Rumpelstiltskin, Goldilocks, not 3 Little Pigs, Cinderella, Snow White, and Little Red Riding Hood. So we kind of bared that, and then we had some smaller stories, which are still ones that people know. Ugly Duckling, Pied Piper. People know these other stories. It's just ones are not to throw shit Disney movies, and the rest are just fairy tales. So kind of separating the 2 out. So we kind of separate them out. We separate them per volume, so each of them has some mega stars and mega hits, and that's how we kind of separate it. And then I invite all the creators I want to be part of it and let them pitch.
Okay, cool. So who here had the craziest pitch?
Here? These aren't the crazy pitches here. Because Chuck, I kind of assigned him one because he was kind of late in the game. I wanted 20 stories, so I gave Chuck. So I want this one in here. Probably the craziest one that we got was the Cinderella from Jack. Was a little wild take on that. Was pretty wild. I think the Snow White is a little different. It's not your typical. It's kind of like a cross between Snow White and Indiana Jones. Not something I've ever seen before. The Bridegroom was a great take on stuff. So they're all unique in their own ways, but wild are definitely some of our bigger characters.
All right, great. And so, Stoney, let's go to yours. Give us a little bit of a background behind your story.
So when I got the list of ones, people are going to go for those favorite characters. So I tend to go further down the list. Different. And the Robert Bridegroom is one of those. It isn't super obscure, but not a whole lot of people know it. And so Ben and I sat down, spent a minute with the artist for my story. And we sat down and thought, how could we tell this story now? And we twisted it around and looked at it from different angles and injected it with some tentacles. And one of the cool things about these fairy tales is that at their core, so many of them are already so creepy. And we kind of gloss over those parts where we tell them sometimes, or we've heard them so often it doesn't seem like it could be. But a lot of them end up being so creepy that you really lean into that with them. And that's what we did for Robert Bridegroom.
Okay, great. And Brian,
Yes.
Your contribution, you're mainly behind the art. Did you draw any inspiration for the story because you're working with Chuck on this one, correct?
Yeah, I never. This is the first time I'm getting to meet or even really interact with Chuck beyond just the words that he wrote on the script. He had reached out to me on Twitter, which apparently I don't ever look at. But I was pleased to get it because I went and read the original material, and I have a long history with H.P. Lovecraft. I think a lot of us who grew up playing D&D and had a library card, probably discovered it early, before it was in the culture, So it was a lot of fun to get to play in that world and to just draw the big guy. Really, it's kind of fun to do that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you think about it, because I think Stoney mentioned just a second ago how big a part of our childhood fairy tales are, and yet how bent a lot of them are. And if you went back to like the beginnings, like the true nature of some of them, they're pretty unsettling. But they stick with us, through the generations. And so, was there anything that you wanted to add in terms of drawing the big guy that was a little bit of your own spin on it?
Yeah, I made him a little. I made him kind of purpley, I think, which was kind of the theme of the book. Like, there's this purple current throughout it in a lot of the art, and I was like, I'm gonna throw some of that. I'm gonna have like cosmic sort of space swirly purples and like purples like in his skin and like and just to really play, because it's that story Color Out of Space. It to me it's always kind of there's like this purpley cosmic horror look, and I kind of wanted to use that.
Right. And Jay, do you want to throw up some of the some of the imagery?
Sure. If you want to share the screen. Yeah, so this is a very exciting campaign for everybody. Please head over to Kickstarter.com and do a search for Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales original graphic novel. Actually, just Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales. Sorry, guys.
You can actually go to CthulhuInvades.com.
You could do that as well, CthulhuInvades.com. But for those of you who are used to going to Kickstarter, just do a search for Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales. And, of course, guys, very exciting. They are very, very close to their goal. $19,921,000 pledged of $23,000 goal. They have 385 backers. Holy crap, that is incredible. Thank you to everybody who's backed this project. Only 16 days to go, guys. We can definitely make it. It's just a bit more of a push. They only need just shy of $4,000 to reach their final goal. But of course, that's not enough. We definitely have additional stretch goals and rewards that we would like to hit. So, guys, definitely check this out. Of course, we do have Cthulhu tempting. It appears like Snow White there, but there are a whole bunch of rewards. And let's take a look at some of this artwork, guys. If you could walk us through a little bit of this. Some of this is this from every a little bit from every story, or is this?
Yeah, so they're pages or panels from each story that I put together for a little graphic. We have 2 of them on there, but yeah, there's a couple. We got Snow White to the left. That's Brian's story in the middle with the barn and the fire. This is Tortoise and the Hare to the right. We have what's the name of that? I keep thinking of the real name, not the one that you see. That is a Lion and the Mouse, so a lot of people may know that one. Right there in the corner. Let's see what else we've got. Yeah, that's all the same story, just different panels. That is Fisherman and his wife at the bottom there. If you've ever heard that tale, it's the wife finds a magic fish, keeps making for wishes, and it gets crazier and crazier. So you get some cool stuff there. You got a deep one. And that is Spider and the Fly. So a lot of people, talk about that one. You know it. You just don't know that you know it. That's Snake Leaf. Snake Leaf 3, which I did not know. 3 Snake Leaves, I'm sorry, which I did not know at all, but he knew it. And to the right, it's Ugly Duckling. I don't think you've ever seen an Ugly Duckling like that. And she don't look that ugly to me.
I think it's Ugly Elfling. Is that
Ugly Elfling is our version, yes.
That's right. So a lot of great. Here's some cover art for a few of these ones. This one is which one is this one?
So that's cover A. That's our main cover. That's done by Carl Moline. If you don't know, he's was very active in Buffy. He created the character called Frey. That's what he's most known for. But he's also done Avengers Arena. He did Superboy. He did a old cross-gen book, Route 66. So if you've ever checked out any of those things, that's him. He's a great artist.
And then there are 3 dynamic covers to choose from. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. The second cover is by P. Collins, and that is a mirror breaking with all of the different chapters in it, which is pretty cool. So it's got all of them in there. So it's got a panel from each of them.
And then the final cover is Cthulhu, and looks like
that's a hardcover. That's actually not the final. That's actually just for our graphic. But if you look on I don't know if you have it somewhere, our hardcover from the page, it's dynamic. Let's scroll down just a little bit past that one. And how do you say his name, Jerome?
Jake Dion.
Yeah, that's Pete Collins' cover. And
that's by Jake.
Yeah, this is the final of that. So that was just a sample. Look at that.
Yeah, it looked like a sketch. And this one looks so much more.
Yeah, it was a sketch.
I would have paid the same price for the sketch. The sketch was so good.
Absolutely. It looked really good. I mean, like here, it's just a bit of a thumbnail, but when you really get into it, they're like these.
I would have paid for it. I'll take all my money, please.
So, if I may ask a question, is it sort of like a Crypt Keeper's Tale, where the Crypt Keeper is just telling stories of each of these chapters, or
no, not at all. Involved? They're all this. So in the first one, we had a storyline through with poems and all sorts of cool stuff. This one, it's really like a straight anthology. So you're going to get story after story after story, like a grim fairy tale. We may give you we haven't quite decided yet, but we're thinking about having a little bit of description of what the fairy tale was. before it, but that's it. We'll go into each of them. Yeah, and that's the other page. So you got Puss in Boots there. That's Cinderella in the middle. That's a graphic that we created. That's actually just an image for our preview that we created. Little Red Riding Hood's over there to the left. That is Billy Goat Gruff to the right, believe it or not, with that big giant Cthulhu. That's why you see the goat in the corner. That is The Boy Who Cried Wolf. And then you got Goldilocks in the upper left.
And a lot of diverse art styles, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So why don't we go through these? And I think we mentioned it earlier, but if everyone could just chime in, who was involved in the Glass Talon?
So that one in particular is Jack Holder. Let me read his whole team here. I got it on there. His Bees Studios, and he's used by Amanda Dufries, who is an amazing inker, has done variant covers for all the major labels, and Dante Miller did the colors.
Excellent. And then, of course, we do have Snow White and the Old God.
Yeah, so that's the very talented Clay Adams. He's done books with Scout and with a whole bunch of different people. Art by Mike Bayer and colors by Gabe Consters.
And then there is Little Red Priestess.
Yeah, Little Red Priestess. That's Neander Fox Schaefer and Marco Roblin. Marco Rublin, sorry.
As Steve mentioned earlier, and of course all you guys know, this is incredible, diverse artwork. I mean, it's like each story has a different take and different style. This one is The King of Miskatonic Castle.
Yeah, this one's mine. So this is Rumpelstiltskin. So I'll tell you a little bit about the story since it's mine. So this one is about, the typical Rumpelstiltskin story, but what makes it unique is because we're dealing with public domain, there's a monster. There's a frost monster that's kind of like a Yeti that I use as my monster in this story, but we can't name him because the name is not public domain because the name came from a different author that's not H.P. Lovecraft, which I think is super interesting. Really ties in with Rumpelstiltskin. And my art is done by Chris Mad and Shayna Mad, their father and daughter.
Interesting.
Cool. Very cool.
And then we have Goldilocks and the Three Scares.
Yeah, so that's my wife's story. That's done by the very talented Ignacio Del Miglo. I think is how you say his last name. Is that right, Stoney? I think that's right.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah, my wife's doing that. It's such a fun story. It's so good. A lot of fun. His cartoony art style is just so fitting for the story.
Wonderful. Then we have Baron and Arkino's Web.
Yeah, so that's based on the Spider and the Fly, and that's Brett Hurliano, who is known for his Dust Bunny Mafia, where he does like a cartoony book, and art by James Burton, who's been in all the books up till now. So
yeah. Arachino's Web. Sorry, I apologize. Obviously, it's an arachnid. Wow, this looks really incredible. And then we have The Fisherman and His Wife, which is based on so
that's by Ed Davis. And I actually just found out that I wrote the names wrong of who the art team is. So give me just a second, because since I'm live, I'd love to get it right. If you don't, bear with me for 2 seconds. Yes, the credits are Cesar Olveria is the artist of that story.
And then we have, this is the one we talked about earlier, The Ugly Elfling.
Ugly Elfling. So this is done by Tom Levine. Does any of you guys know that name who's not been on my shows before? So Steve so are you guys Spawn readers?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So he wrote Spawn at the time that Eric Larson and Todd were doing Spawn. So of course nobody talked about the writer at that time because Eric Larson and Todd were involved, right? But he is the writer of that arc. I think it was probably plot by Todd and Eric, and then he wrote the script. But yeah, he is that. A very talented fella. Art by Peter Taylor and colors by Carla Aguilar.
I think Chuck is trying to get back in.
I didn't realize he'd left. There we go. Thanks for the heads up.
It was just, I think it was a small drop off. It's okay.
Okay.
And then we have the Pants on Fire.
Pants on Fire, yeah. The Boy Who Cried Wolf. This is Stan Kubiak, who is best known for The Rejected from Source Point, which was a huge book a couple of years ago. And art by the wonderful Braggs brothers. I love them. They're great talented. They've done tons of cover work and artwork for a whole bunch of books. Most recently, they did a Ric Flair cover for Ric Flair's story from Scout, which is pretty cool.
Excellent. And then we have Cthulhuon and the Mouse.
Yeah, that's written by J. Michael Miller and the art by Mike Spinelli.
Wonderful.
Max Spinelli, sorry.
And then we have I can't pronounce that at all. Dre.
Oh yeah, it's all German. Just say 3 steak leaves. That's what we're gonna go with.
It's Die Drei Schlangenbraten.
There you go.
That's nice. Peter Rosette, Robbie Bragdon, and Emily Rosette.
Great save there.
And I got to tell you, man, like I used the wrong image for that one. The interior image is so much better.
Really? Okay. Well, it still looks great. I love the overall art. Could you repeat it again? I think I talked over you by accident.
Yeah, it's written by Peter Rosette, colored by Emily Rosette, his daughter, and art by Robbie Bragdon.
Incredible. Then we have Abiyoyo versus Cthulhu.
Yeah, so Abolio, which most people don't know, is an African folklore. It's actually very, very popular in the African community. They talk about it a lot. It's kind of with the John Henry kind of area of like folklore. And Greg Elises, if you don't know, is a very talented writer in that field. He writes Ignacy the Were Spider, very, very good New York-based writer. Probably one of the most talented writers I know. Don't tell him, I don't want to give him an ego. But Greg Elises writing it. Art by Michael Watson does Hot Shot, and colors by Roland Kalinis. He's even my colorist on stuff, and I still can't pronounce his last name. My artist on Going to Judas.
Excellent. And then we have Gruffs and the Troll.
Gruffs and the Troll, yeah, our Billy Goat Gruff story, and that's art written and drawn by Dan Smits.
Then we have Juniper Tree.
Juniper Tree, yeah, that's by Sebastian. I always say his name wrong. Piccioni. I said it right. There you go. Art by C.R. Florence. That is an amazing story. C.R. Florence is killing it. Yep. That's the only one that we don't have colored yet. So that it's getting colored right now. It's a great book.
I was going to say I kind of like the film noir look, but if it's going to be fully colored, that's going to be interesting as well.
Yeah.
Also, too, before you move on this one, Jay, I don't even know what this fairy tale is. I've never heard of the Juniper Tree at all.
Oh, you got to read it. It's dark. It's crazy.
I'll have to check it out. Yeah.
And then we do have The Tale of Friendship and War.
Yeah. So this is our, Tortoise in the Hare. You got to have Tortoise in the Hare if you're doing fairy tales, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we got Philip Bruhorn and art by Jack Van Toms. And I love that art. I love this style of art. Again, this is what you've said a couple of times. This style is so different than everything else, but it's so good. It's so awesome.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we have Eldritch Wedding Crashers.
Yeah, we got Mr. Puss in Boots showing stuff out. We got Devin Arska and Abby Butler.
That's excellent. And then we have The Bridegroom of Gorham.
Bridegroom
of Joram is Stony. Stony, you tell about that one.
Yeah, so I wrote this one. Ben Humenick did the artwork, and we are tag teaming the colors for it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, nice.
And finally, we have Tall Tales.
Chuck.
Yep, based on I believe it's Grimm fairy tale, The Owl, and it was a blast to write. I came in late, so I didn't really. I embarrassed myself because I didn't really understand the book itself, so I wrote an entirely different script, and Travis sent me a message telling me how much of an idiot I am in a nice way, and so I had to redo it. But I was very lucky because Brian is a great artist. I'd never even heard of you, Brian, until this past few weeks, and I'm really glad I know of you now.
Yeah, well, I'm brand new again. So 10 years ago, I was doing stuff, and then I kind of stopped, and then I'm
that sounds familiar. That's exactly what I did. I did stuff a long time ago stepped away for 10 years. Now I've been back for a couple, but yeah, it's exactly what I did. So,
Yeah.
but I'm really, like I said, I'm really just honored to be in it. I've done a lot of things in comics, and this is literally the first time I was ever invited into an anthology. So I'm really excited.
Question: for all of the stories, was there a like a page length or any parameters that were kind of like laid down?
Yes and no. So there was a maximum and minimum for them, and it's based on the popularity of the character, right? So like Snow White, Cinderella, Goldilocks, Little Red Riding Hood got more than everybody else, and then it went down from there. But they could make it whatever length they want within the parameters.
Okay, excellent.
Absolutely. And finally, we have the Pied Piper.
Yes. You missed one, but I'll get this. This is David Byrne and Elisa's Gambit Maldinas.
Which is the one we missed?
You missed. Let's see. What's it called?
Swift Soldier.
Swift Soldier, based on the Elven the Shoemaker.
Let's find it. I think it's okay. Where was it? Yes, it would
right
be.
there.
Here it
While
is.
you're looking for that, I'm going to put up one of the questions from the audience. Didn't you have another Cthulhu anthology? Do we need to have read the other one before reading this? And this is by BMD Nerd.
It's a great question. You absolutely do not. All of them are self-contained because they're all self-contained stories, so they're all individuals. You could buy any one of the four and not need to read the rest. You do get a advantage if you read them, but there's no reason to read any of them out of, specifically this one, because this one doesn't reference any of the other three books. The other ones do reference a little bit, but this one does not.
Okay, great. Jay, can we look at some of the tiers?
Sure. You want to throw up a couple more of those because I think Anthony Pagan is really loving all the artwork and some of the.
Yeah. So Anthony says that all
Thank
these
you.
covers are amazing.
Appreciate
40,
you, brother.
40s and Orgy has a good one.
Cthulhu visiting a fairy tale is like a black man starting to date an innocent snow bunny's life.
I have a lot of questions.
Yes,
especially
yes.
The profile name too. 40s. Like, I want to know how he spends his life, or maybe I don't. I don't know.
Message me. We need to be friends.
And then BMD Nerd.
No, we said that one already.
Oh, you just. Sorry, I didn't see that.
Yeah, no worries. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So these are the tiers, I think.
Or these are the
Well,
milestones.
that right there is our reward. So for every 50 backers, we give a free digital comic, and we're already up there. We're at what is that? 4, 5, 6, 7 comics.
Or close to unlocking a new one.
So these are all included as digital comics then?
Correct. Yep.
That's incredible.
Wow,
So you
that's
have
fantastic value.
Yeah, absolutely. You have The Fog Within, Astounding Tales #1, Monster Matador, Death Necromancer. I can't read the top of that, but it says August. Okay, and then Glamser.
Gilgamesh.
Oh, Gilgamesh. Sorry, the font is so small. It's a thumbnail, right? King Cretaceous, and we're coming very close to 400 backers. So the next one is right on the doorstep. And then,
hey Travis, you can throw the Unbitter Souls Omnibus in there if you want to at some point.
Wow, all right, that's huge.
All right, so then we can talk about some of the physical rewards here. So basically, if anybody wants to back at the cover A, it's $29 which includes the digital version. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're good. We'll let you go.
Yeah. Cover B is $35, which also includes the digital edition. Hardcover is $59, which also includes the digital edition. And then if you want all the covers, and this includes the digital edition, it's $120. That's a great value.
That's
that's all the digitals, by the way. That's all.
Oh wow, that's even better value. Holy crap!
And Jay, don't forget, because of how many backers they have, that's also with the 7 other digital comics that are already part of their their tiers.
Excellent. So is that also with all of these as well?
Correct. Yeah. With any tier level, you can even just do the digital, which is $12. You'll get all the digital with it.
That's amazing.
A great deal.
So yeah, just to recap what we were just saying, if you back any of these, cover A, cover B, hardcover, or as well, if you do the entire set for $120, you also I just lost it. You also do receive each of these covers, which we might even unlock the 400 backer level as well. So that is an incredible value for backing the project as it is right now. And then if we go ahead, if you want to really get in dirty, Cthulhu Invades Cover B Collection, $140, includes all digital versions, and these are freaking amazing.
Just to give you an idea, Oz is 165 pages, Wonderland is 220, Neverland is 240, and we're looking at like 160, 170 for this one.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Don't make Jerome cry though. I don't like the actual number of the new one up there because it gets Jerome sad.
Yeah. Well, remember when we were talking about Neverland? Said, well, there's less characters in Neverland, so it should be a lot less pages than Wonderland. So
it's less than 250.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then, of course, for the actual collector's awards as well, if we scroll down a little bit, the Cthulhu. Okay, so Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales Soft Collector's Box. Can somebody walk us through this? Because this one's a bit.
So it's 165, and you get 2 metal bookmarks. So that's what the 2 things that are left are. You get a sticker, the Apple sticker with the tentacles. The right is a cover magnet. You get 2 prints. And then another sticker, a regular sticker. Yep.
And it comes in this wonderful box. Is that the?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And cover A and cover B is soft cover.
Yeah. And these two are the actual pinups, right? The ones in the back there.
No, those are the books.
No,
you
they're
get
books.
2 books.
Oh, those are the books. Okay. Sorry. So the books are also included. Excellent.
Yeah.
So and that one's a $165. That's an amazing value for $165 for the soft collector's box. Do the digital editions come with this as well?
Of course, yep.
Yes,
Digital includes everything.
Always.
That is an incredible value. Oh my God, that's just ridiculous. You guys are giving this away. And then we at the $210 level, what do we get here?
So basically, you get the other 2 bookmarks. So there's 4 bookmarks in the set. So you get all 4 of them. You get 2 cover magnets. So you get the hardcover magnet and the cover A magnet. You get 4 prints. So you get all the covers as prints. And then the sticker and the box and all that. So it's pretty good value, especially when you factor in.
Cool. Yes, indeed. That is.
You're basically just paying for the books and you get everything else free.
That is just gorgeous. Oh my goodness. And of course, it does come with the cover as well. And then, if you really want to be a baller, $650 will get you the.
That's
Cthulhu
a one of
Invades.
one.
Oh, so this one's already. Is this already sold out then?
No, it's not sold out yet, but
Right,
it's only one. You get. So the difference is, scroll up. The original art, see on the right, the original art for cover A. So you get that from Carmeline, which is, by the way, his art costs you $600. So you're literally only paying $50.
$50. Yeah, $50 for the.
That's an amazing value there.
That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. That's incredible value, and of course, it's still up for grabs. So anybody who is interested, please definitely check this one out. By
the way, the metal bookmarks, they're really metal. They're thick bookmarks, and we usually sell them for $7. So you get 4 in the box. So.
Wow.
Yeah, here if you go big for me for a second, I can show you.
If you want to just isolate, no,
Wait, hang on a second.
Go back.
Oh, I got to add him back, and how do I do this?
Hover over his head, hover over his face, and then click on the 3 dots, and say solo mode.
Let's see solo mode.
Go to Travis on the screen.
There we go.
See,
those look great.
Those are amazing.
Really cool. We've got a set. You can buy all these old ones on there too. But
is there anything on the back?
No, unfortunately not. They can't print on both sides.
Yeah.
Right.
You can go full gambit with people on that. That's awesome.
You absolutely could. I can also bring out the box if you want me to, real quick.
Sure, why not? Let's take a look at the
absolutely.
box. Why not? Let's take a look at the box. Sure.
There's so much in your Kickstarter in terms of what your backers can get. It's almost like it's like a smorgasbord. Like it's just so much stuff.
If you want, we can go through the add-on section.
Oh yeah, that is
Absolutely,
crazy.
absolutely. We'll do the add-on section. Let me know when you're ready, Travis.
Yeah. Just had to put it together.
Yeah.
It's ready.
Is it the new one?
No. Well, it's the Neverland one.
The Neverland? Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
Neverland's all there, and then again, we'll just put books in, right? Just like this. It'll fit in
Oh,
nice.
that's beautiful.
Put in some stuff. Look right on top. Put in, nice pins and magnets.
Yep.
All sorts of stuff.
Anthony's excited. Anthony's excited. Anthony is very excited.
Yeah, so the metal bookmarks, the whole thing is really good. This is our biggest campaign of the year for Orange Cone, so we pull out all the stops.
Okay, and we can go through the add-ons if you guys like.
Sure.
So you can pick up the metal bookmarks for $7 each, as you guys mentioned, and the full set for $25.
And those are just samples. Jerome makes them better. I normally have him do it before the campaign, but I was lazy.
Excellent. And then what are these? The Cthulhu Invades trilogy?
Yeah, those are just the books. If you want to get the old one, I just kind of put together a graphic for it. So those are the cover A's, so you can buy each individually book.
All right, so this is more of the continuation of the whole series now.
Yep.
I'm guessing. So it's a little bit of a mix. It's like Brothers Grimm. It's like the H.P. Lovecraft, and of course other wonderful tales from popular culture as well, which is just incredible. And then we have 3 dynamic covers to choose from. But what's wrong with the last one? It sold out.
So that one's sold out. Yeah. So for Oz, you can get either of those 2 covers. Those are ones you can get, and then same thing for each one. It will have the hardcover and the soft. And Jerome, look.
Yeah.
Hold on. He hasn't seen it in a long time. Look.
All right, let's solo.
A hardcover Oz. Woohoo! They've been out of stock for like 2 years, so we finally got Oz's back in stock, so we can send out Oz's to people. Jerome can get some when he asks for comps, and they can come to Canada, and we can sell a couple.
Excellent.
That's great. Now, is the one that's sold out? That one is. Those are just the covers, right?
Correct.
That are sold out. Okay. All right. So
yeah, so you can still get the book. You just can't get the cover.
All right. And then there are these the cover Bs? Is that what these are?
These are covers for Wonderland. So that one
Wonderland.
was Oz. This is Wonderland. So this is the Wonderland covers.
Okay. And then we also have the Neverland, and these are the covers for them.
Yep.
They look great. Holy crap. And then we
that
have...
one has Cullen Bunn. Maybe you guys have heard of him. He's done some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. Gorgeous. And then we do have the original trilogy add-on menu, so you can get your metal bookmarks.
Yeah, that's more what they look like when Jerome does it, not what I put together.
Okay, so these were the books. $7 each, or $35 for the complete set. 3 dynamic book covers to choose from once again.
So yeah, it's all stuff, but the prices.
Yeah. These extra copies are $35 for soft covers or $50 for the hard covers.
All right, Travis, talk about the limited edition covers and what's special about those ones. Those ones were painted.
What's that? Yeah, they're painted. So what's cool about the hardcovers? So they're all painted on. You're gonna have to make me big again. Let's see if I can show you. So if you look, you see right here.
Yeah,
that's words. He painted this on an actual page of Neverland. So he actually printed out the pages of the book and painted on top of them. We did that for all the covers. That's great. That one. Let me show you the Oz one. The Oz one has a thing on it. So there's the Oz, and if you look right, where is it? Oh, right here in the
upper corner. Yeah.
See, so it's printed from the original stuff, and what's even more interesting, because he's like a professional, he'll buy the oldest copy he can find on eBay. So he buys the oldest copy he can find, within price region, of course, to do that with, which is just super cool.
And then we have these.
Yeah. So
What can you tell us about these?
our last campaign, we did a villains 3-pack. So they're red metal bookmarks, and they're the villains. So we've got Hook, we've got the Queen of Hearts, and we've got the Green Witch, Wicked Witch of the West.
And are these also available for sale?
They are, yeah. It's the full set's 35. Yep.
Okay. And then I think I think that is.
Yeah, I think you're done. At the bottom, we have the typical orange cone. So if you're your first time with orange cone, we do have our books at the bottom. So just keep going down to the very, very bottom. There you go. So all those are available. So if you want to buy any of my books, so most of those are written by me, they're all available on there. So you've got Hospice and Broke Down in 4 Dead Bodies. There's some Cthulhu in there because they use the same stuff. But Expired, Voodoo Nations, these are all the books I'm known for. You can buy all of them on the campaign, and we sell them in sets, so you can catch right up.
No, that's great.
Excellent. And these are, of course, a la carte. You can have them for $30. Expired 1 and 2 is $15. Coins of Judas is $15 for each copy.
No, it's all together. So it's 1 and 2.
Oh, it's all together. Okay, so that's even better. So 1 and 2 is $15. Granite Slate 1 through 3 is $30. No Contest is $15 for the pair. Pup Diane Winkle sing-along comic Cottage Cheese $10 each. Cthulhu Invades previews $10 each. Holiday Spirits Christmas in July also $10 each. I love these covers because obviously they remind me of the Crypt Keeper and then those ones. That's a lot of fun. The
that's comic. Jerome's baby. He does all that. So
that is so great. And then of course we do have the Cthulhu Invades, which we mentioned earlier, and Holiday Spirits volumes 1 through 3, $25 each. The covers may vary. This is awesome. I love this one in the middle. It reminds me of Wizards.
But that's the guy who actually did the hardcover as well. He's the same artist who brought him back.
Nice.
He just kills it. I mean, look
Beautiful
at
stuff.
that guy. If you're not buying covers from him, I don't know what's wrong with you.
That's awesome.
No, true. Now, does he have any original art that he has painted based on your stuff?
Not on any of our stuff.
Okay.
Awesome.
But-
so, guys,
Well, he worked he doesn't have original art. He works digitally only. So
Okay.
that's excellent. So, guys, definitely check out Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales. They are now 19,912. So, actually, I think it went up a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. So, 385 backers, 15 days to go. Let's get them up to 23,000, guys. It's only a few days away, and of course, if they get the extra, are there any stretch goals at this time, guys, or is it just?
We'll always have stretch goals. So the first one will be commentary, where we'll do audio commentary of everything, and then everything beyond that will be really just making those covers better. Whether it be gloss foil, things like that, to just make them pop.
And if you check the comment section, everyone who's in the chat, I think Jerome has added a link to the Kickstarter.
yeah.
So everybody can head over there and support this project, guys. These guys are working really hard, and they are so close to the goal for this particular project. And it's not like they're not with this. They've actually had multiple successful projects from Kickstarter. So we had, where are we here? Oh, that's not it. Yeah, where'd it go?
Yeah, so we did Broke Down in 4 Dead Bodies in 2018. We did the second issue in 2019. 2020, we did, Broke Down Parallels and Voodoo Nations. And then since then, it's just been crazy. We've done, multiple books a year from Broke Down to Granite State. We're doing about six or so books a year on Kickstarter. And we always take care of our customers.
That's excellent. So, yeah, guys, very exciting, this project. And they're very, very close to their goal. So, how did you guys go about developing this idea of Cthulhu? I mean, like, that's such an interesting concept to be intermingling Cthulhu with all these wonderful classic fairy tales from back in the day.
Yeah, that was my wife and I were at an IKEA, and we were talking about comics, and I was thinking about going to comics full time, and I realized that I needed to get a trade to the table, right? I know Steve's a comic creator, and one of the biggest things when you're tabling early on is you don't have that trade. So you pay like $200 something for a table, you have 1 or 2 issues, 3 issues. Well, most people want the cheapest version, so they're going to buy $5 a piece. You may have some variant covers. It's really hard to make tables. You really need to get that trade because people will buy trades because most people are readers. They want to read the whole thing. So that's what I came up with. I was like, my wife's like, what is really popular on Kickstarter that you think you could make work? And I was like, you know what? Cthulhu's super popular. And I think if I mixed it with like public domain, I could really do something. And I literally, for Oz, contacted anyone who I felt was talented, more talented than me. Like, absolutely 100%. If I think you're more talented than me, you were in that book. My dude, the Kickstarter link is broken. Jerome, your Kickstarter link's broken?
You know what?
It should be CthulhuInvades.com should be working, but if not, I'll share it.
I'm gonna add it now myself. See if that works.
But anyways, yeah. So that we came.
It's working.
I asked some people I know. They all signed up, and then they loved it so much we decided to do Wonderland because it sold so well. Wonderland did our biggest, got us a Ringo nomination. That's something we didn't mention. We're Ringo nominated, so this is not only us telling you it's good. A group of people voted, put it in. A committee of voters of comic things said this is one of the 5 that we're going to choose to put up. We didn't win, but we got nominated. And Jerome for his letter.
Well, congrats on that. No, like when you look at all the work that's gone into it, and it's amazing that everyone is appreciating everything that you guys have done, and the track record is and not anything that anyone can kind of like just look at and brush you guys off. A lot of dedication, a lot of commitment to what you guys are doing, and the stories and the level of art and storytelling looks amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so excited by the level of artwork, and of course, I'm very excited to see what's going to happen with the storylines as well. What has been your biggest hurdle so far in terms of getting all this together? I mean, like, are you guys working long distance from each other? Are you guys close knit? How does that dynamic work?
No, one of the things that I do, unlike other anthologies, I don't have an open submission. So you don't get in my anthology by like waiting for me to post about it. It's I decide I like you and I ask you to come. But because of that, I get professionals like Chuck. Chuck did a script for me, a great script. And I was like, this is great. This is not what I'm looking for. Gave me another script within 2 weeks. Brian banged it out in like 3 days. I think an afternoon. I don't know how long. It was super fast, right, Chuck? Like it was like super fast.
I've never seen it. I've never seen that speed before, ever.
And that's what I do. And that's why, Stoney's in all my books. I can trust Stoney. Stoney tells a good story. Him and Ben are a great team together. So everyone hits their deadlines and I can just trust to do it. And I think that's the advantage of not going open call for submissions, right? Because then you're yelling at people who have no professional relationship with you. These people know that I like them and trust them. So that helps when they come in and they don't want to let me down. I don't want to let them down. So we all kind of work together to make sure we have deadlines and things happen and people are behind. But the positive for everyone I know is professional and wants to do this for a living. They're not messing around. This isn't a hobby for them. They really want to do this. So they get their stuff done and I'm very proud of them.
And after each book, everyone gets excited and they want to come back for the next one, and they're just so happy to jump and to jump in and work on with these characters that they all love. So yeah, just so much fun.
Now, Chuck, is there a possibility that we might actually see the story that Travis rejected? Can that story come back in another form in any way?
I truly doubt it. I'm super busy and I did not pay attention, and that is on me. It's up to Travis; he can have it. But if he ever does, Cthulhu invades politics, I guess he could use it. But,
yeah. The reason why it was rejected is not because it wasn't good. In fact, it was really, really good. It was one of the things I want is a good reader experience. And one of the things that I think that anthologies mess up with is when they do anthologies is they jump around in genres and themes. And because of that, it can cause some problems. So when I did Cthulhu, I wanted it all fairy tale looking. So when you look through the book, you feel comfortable. Because I think that a lot of times when I'm reading anthologies, at least for me, if it goes from space to Western on the next page, it disassociates me. And if I don't like Westerns, I may stop right there and not read the rest. So kind of, you know what you're getting and you kind of read through it.
Here's another thing that just occurred to me. Since you guys have kind of worked together in some capacity and you know Travis, do you ever get to pitch him?
I tried.
Once a week.
No, I tried once, but I stopped.
It was a Canadian. He asked me to do a Canadian hockey team book.
He said, "You know what? Your lettering is good."
I hired him as a colorist. It hasn't worked. He hasn't colored a lot for me.
I think we were a bunch of alpha dogs, so we kind of pitch each other, or pitch ourselves, and do our own projects. But these anthologies are fun to jump in with other friends, you know.
Yeah.
Right. And outside of obviously the ones that you're working on, are there any of are you guys aware of the other stories as well? Have you had a chance to see them yet, or?
I got to look at a lot of the art. I got to do some additional artwork for the book outside of the story I did. So I went through it all and I just looked at it all and it was great. I mean, really beautiful stuff. You know, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to bring my level up for whatever additional stuff I do, you know?
Yeah, so there's a Facebook group that we're all in together, and we update, and sometimes people will share the artists they go through, and it's a really cool thing to get to see this as it's built up, and we get to see what each other is doing, and like you said, you go, oh, I've got to, you know, bring my A game, and everybody else is doing this level, I have to do this level too.
Yeah. Did we lose a couple of people? I don't know if we actually, or are we all still here?
No, we're still here. We just moved around.
Okay. Just make
We're
sure.
all here.
I thought I was like I could have sworn I was at the bottom. Anyway, Steve, if you want to, I don't think we highlighted this. We actually have T-shirts. Travis is wearing one. So.
I'm wearing a Marvel T-shirt. I'm not wearing a Cthulhu T-shirt.
Yeah. So if anybody's interested, there are actually T-shirts as well. Cthulhu Invades T-shirts, $35 each. Size small, medium, large, extra large, and XS and extra large. These are great. Is that the type of shirt that we can expect, though, Travis? Is the
yeah. It's a high quality shirt.
You want to stand up?
Well, this is a Marvel shirt, so this is not.
Oh, okay. It's a Marvel shirt. Sorry.
Yes, they're very high quality shirts. They are done. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them now, but they were done by Sticker Mule because Sticker Mule is making really good quality shirts, and I can send them out. They've recently decided to burn the internet. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that.
A lot of controversy. Around that, actually.
Yeah, and I don't care how political you are. It's just really weird and aggressive, like whatever's happening over there, and I don't like it.
It's kind of icky. I think there are actually a couple of you guys are also branched into your own Kickstarters as well. If I'm correct.
Absolutely.
I think we got Posts and Panels.
Pots and Panels.
Pots and Panels. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Travis is a big help to me on that. But Pots and Panels is going to launch in October. It's a comic cookbook anthology, and we each creator will be bringing a recipe to the book and a little short story about why they love the recipe, but also they are food themed stories, and we've got about 84 creators. It's going to be 50 stories. It'll be 400 pages. We've got some pretty amazing people like Ron Mars, Tim Seeley, Stephen Grant, Phil Hester, Andy Kuhn, Steve Niles. We've got some pretty heavy hitters on it. Travis Gibbs in it.
Tony Isabella, that's cool too. Wow.
It's just it's really cool. We're getting a lot of people together, and we're doing food themed stories with a cookbook connected to it. And I'm going to start doing an anthology once a year. But yeah, we got Mark Resnick, the drummer from. I'm dating myself, but I love his band, the Toadies. Anybody remember the Toadies?
Yeah, I know the Toadies, of course.
I'm from Texas, man.
Hell yeah. And so, just all around a great project. There's a picture. There's Hillary Barda. Anybody who knows their comics history knows Hillary. He's fantastic. It's kind of a collection of some of my favorite indie comic book creators and some of my oldest comic book friends.
Jerome's in there too.
What's that?
I am.
Jerome's in there too.
I am.
Oh yeah, Jerome's in it. Yes. And as of probably tomorrow, Brian will be in it.
How these things happen, I guess.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's a fun book, and we got a lot of people working together, and we've got some great stories. Steve Niles' story is sick. It's very sick. Travis's story. He was just talking about. It's funny. He was just talking about jumping from a space or sci-fi to the western. Travis's is a western.
Well, I can do it in your book. I just can't do it in mine.
But our book is food themed, so I don't care what genre it is. We've got a bunch of great stories in it so far, and we're still putting everything together. But it'll launch in October, and it is huge. It is a huge project.
Remarkable.
Any idea of how many pages it might turn out to be in the end?
It'll be about 400. It'll be about. I should take that page down. We have the artists we need, especially if I talk to Brian tomorrow. But it'll be about 400 pages, between 420 something.
Oh wow,
Crazy.
It's huge. I have a habit of doing enormous books on Kickstarter because I've only done one Kickstarter before, and that was for an omnibus for a book that I did with Norm Brayfogle called Up Bitter Souls. That did about 23,000, and that was a 400-page omnibus. So I guess I just don't do small things on Kickstarter. So anyway.
Well, it's a very exciting project, and guys. So if you are going to be, if you are interested in this, definitely check out Post and Panels. And you're launching the Kickstarter when again?
More than likely October 1st.
Okay, so do a search for Pots and Panels. My apologies. Pots and Panels. A food themed anthology, cookbook as well. Is it actually including a cookbook? Is that what I heard? Or?
Oh yeah. So one part of the book is the anthology, and the other part of the book is every creator's recipe that they submit to the book, and not only is it a recipe, but it's also a short story about why they love that recipe. So you get a story, you get stories, and then you get recipes. They don't have to be connected, but you also get a nice little story from the creator about why that recipe is in the book. Like, why do they love it? Steve Niles he has one recipe. I'm trying to remember. Mark Resnick from the Toadies. He has a wonderful story about how his mother was taught this recipe by his grandmother, and how it came over from their original country, and it's sauerkraut and sausages, and it's fantastic. I'm really, really, really proud of this anthology.
It's a great title.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Our next one next year will be Adthology, and it'll be a salute to comic book ads from the 50s to the 80s.
I love it. Wow, that is awesome. I love that. We got to get the sea monkeys in there for sure.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
Sea
it's got to be
monkeys.
and
the X-ray glasses.
I'm taking it. Well, absolutely. We're actually going through old comic books right now, the organizing team, and we're going to pick out 100 ads from those comics back in the day, and I basically copy Travis. We're going to say, okay, here's your ad, and do a story around that ad. So that's what we'll be doing. But yes, Sea Monkeys, those Revolutionary War, Charles Atlas, Don't Be Sprung,
Charles Atlas, yes, yes.
all of it, Sell Seeds, Win a Bike, all that stuff.
That's awesome.
But that's pots and panels this year.
The compact submarine. It's going to be.
Absolutely.
Bernie Lomax has a great comment there, Steve.
Oh, thank you, Bernie.
Taking that nerd syndrome to new heights. Now a comic book with a cookbook. Loves it.
So great.
He gets around that, Bernie.
he walks. He walks at night. You never really see him.
I just gotta say, I'm hoping that Chuck in this ad comic has like one of those pullout ads where you got to get it for the wizard half. That's the ad I want. I don't want an actual comic. I want the wizard half.
Yeah, those are so much fun. And then we have one other Kickstarter which is actually running right now.
Yeah,
and this one to me is awesome because I'm a huge Sentai fan. So for me, this is definitely right up my alley. And congratulations to you guys. It's already reached. It's already surpassed its $1,000 goal with 49 backers, and it still has 5 days to go, guys. We can double that.
It's a modest goal. I'm the creator, and I did all the art, writing, all that stuff for it. I just kind of had this dream one night about this robot rusting in San Francisco harbor, and sort of turned it into. I did that animation. Sort of just turned it into this noir Sentai comic book. So that's and I took a lot of inspiration from sort of paperback novels. You can see I have some painted covers. And I've got 5 days left. I do have one special thing. I am offering a chance for. I have a couple of backup pages that I've saved. If you want to create your own kaiju, my robot will fight it in those panels, and you will work with me to create it. I've got one taker so far. It's a $200 reward, but it's your kaiju. You walk away with it. You get the original art for it and everything.
That's awesome.
That is so great. I love it. Steel Victory. And it definitely has that Pulp Fiction kind of feel. With your I think the I love the car. I love the Sentai aspect of it. Again, this one that's right up my alley. I mean, this is really fun. And of course, I mean, like giant robots and monsters. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a combination like that.
And I love the CI.
Yeah, got some stickers.
Yeah,
this little guy, he's just he's a mix of King Kong and Godzilla. I'm not gonna lie. Exactly what he is.
Yeah, he looks so cool.
His name is Gorilla Zard.
Oh, he's awesome. I love it. And these are bookmarks as red as well.
Yeah, so they're like reversible bookmarks, color one side, black and white the other. This is my third Kickstarter this year. I just jumped back in, so I've got a lot to learn. I don't have stretch goals. I don't have there's a lot of sort of things that maybe I'll figure out how to add on later on as I go on in this journey.
I just backed it.
Thank you.
There you go.
He does have a crossover too. If you back both Cthulhu Invades physical and that physical, you get a crossover print.
Go down if you can get down to my updates. I've got the image I did that has the Cthulhu versus the Victory.
Updates would be at the top.
I love the Sentai style blaster. I just love it. It reminds me so much of the second version of the NES the NES Power Zapper. I mean, like
that was in my brain.
So good.
Yeah.
Jay, if you go up to the top, you can click updates. I think that's
go up to the top, hit the updates at the very top.
The very top, there you go.
Hey, go. It'll be, hit read more. And there's so I did a little giveaway print. If you do Cthulhu and Steel Victory, we got 5 days left. As long as you get the print version of mine, because I do need to ship it to you, I'll send you this print as well.
It's gorgeous.
And how big is the print, Brian?
is a four by
4x6.
Travis? What are you talking? 4x6.
Yeah, I mean it could be anything, any size you want, but 4x6.
As long as it fits within the general frame of a comic, I don't want to fold or roll it up, so
Right.
it'll be a good size.
4x6, 5x7. Yeah.
Very cool.
This one is definitely right up my alley. I love the whole concept. It's a great idea, and of course, guys, they have just increased to 1,069, 50 backers now. 5 days to go.
Backers.
You gain and you lose these backers as you go. So sometimes you're over and sometimes you're under, and it's a really interesting thing. I'm just learning a lot about Kickstarter.
Absolutely.
You want to feel comfortable. So,
100%.
because I want to give people what they want. You've got 50 people that want something. You want to make sure that you are comfortable, that you can make these orders and ship them out and do all these things.
100%. Guys, please help please help back both of these projects. Steel Victory #1, and of course, as we mentioned earlier, Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales. 15 days to go for this one. 5 days to go. Oh, I just saw it.
Whoa! The numbers went up. We're at 386.
We're at 86, and it went to 19,924. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate that. So if we can keep these going, let's get these guys up to their $23,000 goal, and of course get them up well past that. Let's get some more stretch goals involved as well. Huge thanks to our guests tonight. This has been Kickstarter is never an easy thing. It's always a funny thing, and it is interesting. You do have to sort of get a little bit extra just to make sure, because as we mentioned earlier, you can backers come and go as like the wind, right? So you have to make sure that you get a little bit extra. So guys, please do help support these projects. These are labors of love by wonderful creators who work so hard to bring these projects to life, and anything we can do to help them out is really appreciated. So thank you guys for and thank whoever it was that just backed it now. Thank you. You're awesome. That's amazing.
Absolutely. Question: in terms of Kickstarter, how much pre-planning for everyone who's out there who's maybe thinking of doing a Kickstarter? Brian, you're on the new end of it. Travis, you're like the grizzled vet. How much pre-planning do you need to actually get a campaign up and running? Because as Jay has said, it's a lot of work.
I think it depends on the project, right? I recommend someone finish the project before you start, especially early on. You don't have to do that necessarily after you've earned your reputation, but your reputation, the first couple are very important. So having it finished are very important. Graphics and getting a fan base. People think, I'm going to make my fan base on Kickstarter. That's way harder than you think. You need to come in with some sort of fan base. I think that's where Brian is right now. I think he had a very small fan base coming in, so now he's starting to build this fan base and he's building it on Kickstarter. It's way harder versus if Brian, I'm going to use you as an example, Brian, just because you're here. If Brian was in all the groups and building relationships with people for the last year and then came on, it would have been a different story. So he's built that relationship, built that trust. People want him to succeed. So now he's on Kickstarter, finding people to be those people versus bringing them with you. So I always recommend, at least 6 months of prep time of doing it if you can. And obviously that's less and less as you become tough. Like only people who know what we're launching is Jerome and I. And Jerome normally only knows like a week before you guys. In fact, this kid made Jerome was like, "Oh, you wild man, we're launching early." I was like, "No, we're not."
I don't know why. I was under the impression that we were launching like a couple of days later, but I don't know where I got.
I have a whiteboard next to me, Steve, that I won't show him. He's requested it like 4 times. Hey, can I see the whiteboard? I won't show.
Yeah. We need to update that whiteboard.
Yeah, I showed it at the beginning of the year, and that's it. And I know it's out of date, and we haven't done the things that are on the whiteboard, but that's fine.
But it's fine. I know that the whiteboard is phony. I just like to see it. Some okay, we'll do that and that and that. Yeah, well, it just
I'll tell you the only encouragement, the only kind of tips I got before I just jumped into it was to have your comic done, was to make a good video, really, and to just go for it. And I am learning, as Travis said, that you really do need to foster this kind of community. But I don't think I would have been able to do that if I didn't have a project already out there. So it's like it's who knows? People have to see that you can do it before they kind of trust you and follow you. I started a web comic a year ago. Nobody looked at it. It's still out there. Nobody looked at it at all, right? I thought, oh, that'd be a good way to get my feet. No, really, it's just getting it out. Just getting your comic out, putting it in hands. That's really where it's at. And I trust that the process, I'll just look. I'm in an anthology now. Maybe I'm in another one. Maybe I'm building a career. Who knows? I'm just really excited to be part of the ride.
No, definitely. And also too, if you can time your launches, around conventions or anything like that, that also helps as well too, because you can actually meet people, let them know what's going on. Because sometimes your reach is only so far. And after a while, like as what Travis was saying earlier, they're supporting you. So every backer you have, it's not necessarily just the product. They're supporting you and the ability that you have to create stuff that will then be able to be shared to the public.
Yeah, it's communicating with them, and I think that's important. I think a lot of creators, the reason why I think Orange Cone is seeing growth versus other creators who haven't seen the same growth as us, who put out about the same amount of books, is they don't foster their relationships. I am constantly talking to my backers and saying, hey, you backed Voodoo Nations. Let me show you what's going on. Let me show you some behind the scenes. Let you be part of this process. Let me be part of this growth as I continue to do these things. And I think that's the real secret, is fostering these relationships so they know they're valued, and maintaining these relationships. I'm all about relationships. That's why I do these books. That's why Stoney continues to do stuff. Steve, you don't know this, but Jerome has mentioned your name several times and going, we got to get Steve into something. I like Steve. He's one of our people. All right, we got to get him into stuff. It's about relationships and building this, because I do believe we grow together, and making sure. That's why I made sure that Chuck was in this book, and nobody. And it's sad because some of these times we have relationships with these people when you never asked them. Nobody has asked Chuck. He's been in comics about 20 years, right, Chuck?
30
years. No one is asking to be in an anthology. It's insane. That's insane to me. It's because a comic creators, we're artists, and we want to put our art out in the world, and that sometimes makes us solo focused. So we're just about our art, and we put our blinders on and just focus on our thing. And I understand we're in competitive nature, like we're all fighting over the bucks. Someone who may have to choose between Brian and Mai's book at some point and for their dollars, but that's okay, because there's enough other people out there that may not have to make that choice. Or just because they chose me today, that doesn't mean they won't choose Brian tomorrow. And if I can help get them their fan base, that makes Brian more useful when I add him to my anthology, or Stoney more valuable. All these things. Stoney was a colorist when I met him. What kind of useless skill is that? I don't need no colorist. But he's but get the no. I'm not kidding. He was a colorist for Cthulhu. He's a writer for Mad Cave at the time, a book that was just coming out. And someone pitched him as a colorist for me. Someone could have said, hey, Stoney could do some art. Would have happily been a writer. I would have happily got him in as a writer. But so now I had to hunt him down myself.
Absolutely. Bernie has another fun comment here.
Oh man, all this talk about reading and stories give me a warm, fuzzy feeling of the 80s reading Rainbow and Book It. Thanks, guys, for all the timeless feeling I missed so long ago.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how I fed my family with my little pepperoni pizzas from Book It.
Good to see you, Eric.
Me and my wife have been having this discussion. So I only like Pizza Hut Meat Lovers Pizza.
Can't go wrong with that.
But I also have a saying that only good pizza, you don't need anything on it because it's good. Like you could just get a cheese, and so you always start with the cheese. So her logic is, I don't actually like Pizza Hut. It's just a nostalgic thing. And I really don't like it because it's the only thing I have massive amount of toppings on. Like, I really just hate it. But there's Book It. And they got me into the X-Men because of the X-Men VHS. And, all Pizza Hut's been good to me.
Ninja Turtles coming out of their shells tour. I remember.
Right.
McDonald's was kind of the same way. You remember the Happy Meals more so than the burgers.
Right.
The toys. The toys is basically what hooked you as a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
So Stoney, since Travis went there, writing, coloring, how did the two either come together or split?
So I've told stories ever since I was little, but I was running a podcast with a friend of mine reviewing comic books, and Mad Cave approached us about doing an article on their talent map. And that's when I realized that they had a talent map. I kept telling my wife, I think I would do this. I might, I don't know. I've never done anything like that before. Finally, she's like, just shut up and fucking do it. Quit talking about it, do it. And so I did. First script I ever wrote, and I won. And so I had my own 5-issue series in culture, and that's how I met David Galliano, who also won that year at Savage Fashion. And we had said several times we wanted to do something together. We wanted our names on the same page. And so he came to me one day and said, "Hey, I'm doing psychology," and it had been right through COVID, and I decided during COVID that I was going to go into it and learn a skill and come out the other end better for it. And so I started looking at the other facets of making a comic book, the line art, the color, the weather, things like that. I can't draw the same myself. All of my stick figures come out looking like victims of tragic farm, right? I did try lettering for a little bit. Dustin Birch did the lettering for Villain, and I sat down, he was walking through some stuff, and he was watching letter, and I'm bad at that too, but it was fun to learn, and I started coloring. And so David said, "You need a colorist. Why don't you come color this one?" Like, "Are you sure? I've only been doing it for like a month. Are you sure you want me to?" He's like, No, you're doing really good. Let's do it. So that's how I started doing that, and I've gotten several other gigs doing that. In fact, I've probably made more money coloring than I have writing at this point. But it uses a different part of my brain. I really enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun, and watching myself grow and better at it, slowly but surely, is a lot of fun. I really enjoy it, and I'll probably keep going.
Sweet. And Jerome, since you're lettering everybody's, do you change your approach based on the story and the artwork to how you letter?
The technique is the same, but I do try to adapt as much as I can to the art style or the story that I have. Mostly the art style, because you want the lettering and the balloons and everything and the sound effects to blend as much as possible. So sometimes you want the lettering or the sound effect to scream at the page, but you still need to blend it, to find a way to match the art, so it goes along well. I mean, if it doesn't, if it stands out too much, there's a certain point that's standing out is good, but there's on the other end where it stands out on a certain way that just looks bad, and you try to avoid that as much as possible. But I try to match the art as much as I can. Find a style that goes well with it.
And Travis, when you're kind of like curating the stories and everyone's talents and whatnot, do you kind of let everyone kind of percolate and do their own thing, or is it kind of like you kind of have a specific kind of look or feel for each story, so the anthology has a through line that's consistent.
So for the other ones, is actually for Oz, Wonderland, and Neverland, there's actually a through line, so that people get like a plot. So I'll give them a 3-act structure, like this is what happened in Act 1, this is what happened in Act 2, Act 3, and you've got to write accordingly. And then I slightly adjust their scripts through conversation to fit the ongoing narrative of what's going on. For this new one, it's not really like that. The only thing I need to worry about on that is not having the same theme, right? Like if a lot of people's using fire, I got to go, hey, can you not have Cthulhu scared of fire? Can you not have Cthulhu jump out at the end? Like there's little things like that you've got to do. But no, I try to get the stuff. The thing I do the most is curating talent, getting talent to work together, and making people understand that it's okay to work with other people. Like people have their people, and I'm like, cool, but like this is an anthology. I know you guys do an ongoing series together, but why don't for 5 pages you try somebody new and we kind of shake things up and do things and getting things done. So that's kind of the skill set of kind of building, finding strength. Like Stoney, when Stoney did this is his first coloring gig. Do you remember who we had coach you?
Oh, you had 2 or 3 people. I talked to no, his name fell out of my head.
Yeah, I don't remember either, but we had a colorist come in and actually like help him out to make it better. And that's what we do for everybody. If something's not up to par, instead of going, your stuff's not up to par, you need to go, hey, let's get somebody in to make it to where it needs to go. And then I read Villainous and I was like, Stoney, you're not coloring anymore. You need to do this now. And since then he became a good colorist. So I was like, all right, now when I'm in a bind, I need to call Stoney and go, now I need to use this coloring. but it's really, giving up, seeing the value in people and helping them grow and becoming better comic creators, because that's what anthologies should be. They should grow your fan base and then grow your community. That's the two things they should do. It should give you a big book on your table to sell, and it should help you build your community. So that's what we do.
Actually, I'm just going to get Bernie in here one more time. You said Deep Dish Pen is the greatest. I consider still to this day. Yeah, Pizza Hut's deep dish. There's something about it. I don't know if it's the grease factor, but it's pretty delish. I'm
just saying, Bernie, I can give you some digitals right now. If you want to order me a Meat Lovers pizza, we can make a deal. Like let's go. I'm excited.
Cthulhu invades deep dish pen.
I mean, I've been real quiet sitting here. I am from Chicago, and I've been listening to Florida people talk about pizza, Canadians talk about pizza, and I'm just going to say you're all wrong.
What do you mean? It's the pizza commercial saying.
Gino's in Chicago. Am I right? Gino's Pizza.
Gino's is awesome. Lou Malnati's is amazing, but Pizza Hut is, it's like the McDonald's of pizza.
Yeah.
So I no offense, Travis, I love you, but
we're well aware.
Chuck, or Florida doesn't know how to make good pizza. There is not a single place in Florida where
we don't have it.
It's not possible. Like
but I will say the nostalgia of Pizza Hut back in the day when they were the largest purchaser of kale in the world because of the salad bars, and then and they would have the red plastic cups that you would also have at college, the with the Mountain Dew, and then you'd sit down and they'd have pitchers. So yeah, the nostalgia of Pizza Hut, big time. The actual quality of Pizza Hut, as a Chicagoan, I do feel I must speak up.
Because here I am from Oklahoma. As long as you have ranch dressing for it, it's all pizza. Like,
they're running ads, Chuck, about Pizza Hut's running ads about Chicago right now, saying that you guys don't actually like deep dish pizza. I almost said something else. Deep dish pizza. You guys like thin pizza. That's what I hear. Like thin tavern style pizza.
I love all pizza. Pizza is like sex. When pizza is hot, it is really, really good. And when pizza is cold, it is really, really good.
So if you're looking for, I've heard that if anybody's looking for a good pizza in Florida, St. Petersburg has apparently a great pizza. It's called Barstool Pizza, the Violet Stone. So basically, if anybody's in the Petersburg area, you got to check out the Violet Stone in St. Petersburg, Florida. So apparently, that's one of the better ones. So I don't know, Travis, if that makes any sense, but
that's one place in one entire state.
Travis,
Here's the
really
thing: like, there's a whole bunch of people in Florida who say that our water sucks. It's not possible to make good pizza. It has nothing. Like, we just have shitty. You literally go north and you're fine. It's just we have shitty pizza. He's lying to you, MJR. I'm sorry. I don't want to be this guy. He's just lying to you.
Well, you know what? If maybe somebody in St. Petersburg can actually tell us if that's true or not. We'll see what happens. Again, YouTubers don't know anything.
With due respect, they'd be from St. Petersburg and they wouldn't be able to tell you because they don't know. Right.
Well, I'm
just messing with you.
I love pizza, so I watched this guy from Barstool
Portnoy. Dave Portnoy.
Dave Portnoy, and he actually went there. He actually went to this place, and apparently the guys are actually from Philadelphia. So that's actually the thing. They're Philadelphians in Florida cooking pizza.
But Travis is right.
How's that for five stages of separation? I mean, like, it's all over.
Yeah, but if they don't import that water in, we have this.
Yeah, they have their own filtration system.
Yeah, we have this bagel place that has its own water filtration system. It's called Brooklyn Water Bagel, and the idea is that it's the Brooklyn water. They actually import the water from Brooklyn to make their bagels.
But again, no one's going to know until somebody actually goes to St. Petersburg, Florida, and actually takes a bite, right? So one bite, everybody knows the rules. That's that's what he says. So, yeah, guys, it's been a great evening catching up with you guys, and wow, what an amazing project for all you guys. Congratulations on it. We still need to hit $23,000, guys. So don't. There's still time. I think we have what was it, 16 days left or something like that. Hold
15 days left.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I swear it just changed over. I don't know what happened, but
it changed to 15.
Yeah, it literally just changed over. Steve, you want to just pop that up really quick? Yeah. So guys, don't forget 19,924, 386 backers. It literally just went up by one backer. Thank you guys for that. 15 days to go. Let's get these guys up to 23,000. They're now very, very close to only $3,000 away from their goal. And of course, we also have another wonderful project, Steel Victory. So this one's a lot of fun too. I'm a big fan of this. 5 days to go. They're at $1,069 of a $1,000 goal, and we need more money on this because you just never know, as we mentioned earlier, up, down, left, right. I mean, like, fickle. Backers are fickle, and sometimes you never know. Something goes a little haywire, and all of a sudden, you need an extra backer just to make sure you get over the hump. So, guys, please check these two projects out. We have links in the chat. For you guys to check out, and of course, every little bit counts, and we really do appreciate it. I think Bernie has one, and so does the Space Between. I would love to see a story of the Say crew that made the book and get sucked into their own comic book and meet their creators, progress through the pages. And have you ever played the 1995 Comic Zone from Sega Genesis?
I have.
I haven't. Yeah. But didn't Donnie Cates do a really cool book called Crossover like a year or two ago where where they kind of met their creations?
Yeah, go check that out.
I love that book. And whoever sent Bernie Lomax, you should check that book out. It's really good.
So, Travis, I saw your comment. It was burned. Actually, if you watch the review, the actual pizza was burned, and he actually made them cook it again. And if you watch the review, it's actually an interesting. That whole take on it was so interesting because he literally was confused when he first took the first bite. He's like, something's wrong here, but something's also right here. And I think that this is wrong. This is burned, right? So he actually goes back.
Was the top burned or was the crust burned, Jay? Was it the crust or was it the toppings?
No, the bottom was completely burned, like
Yeah.
100%, like
So
charred to
then
hell.
that proves Travis's point. It's the
Yeah.
toppings. It's
Possibly.
all with the toppings.
Absolutely. And the thing is that he's like, when you watch the review, he literally says something's wrong here because I want to give them a good review, but I can't because the bottom is completely burned. And then what happened was, even after they made the pizza, he actually docked points because he said, you didn't do it right the first time. I had to force you to make a good the pizza right, so I gotta have to take off some points. But they still got a pretty decent score for his overall review.
Oh, space between the pieces got to be charred. Interesting.
Yeah,
He's
space,
in New
space
York.
between. Yep, space. But there's a difference. Hold on. Space between. There's a difference between charred and burned. Like the bottom of the first pizza was literally burned. It was actually pretty crazy. He still ate it too. Bernie Lomax, he's hitting back one more time. Pan grease or butter makes everything taste better in the end. We all love
I
that.
don't know who this Bernie guy is, but he's smart. He's smart. Every Bernie I know is smart. I like them all. Every Bernie.
Absolutely. So I'm wondering on your take on this. I literally just came back from San Diego Comic-Con. It was an absolute like bonkers as always. What are your takes on the current situation with large comic conventions? And are you guys visiting any conventions, comic book, toy conventions, anything in the next couple of before the end of the year, and hopefully before the end of the campaign to help push the book? Where can we see you guys? Let's start with Jerome actually, because he's up here. Maybe he's going to Fan Expo. I don't know.
No, actually, I'm pretty much done for conventions for this year. Maybe I may have one in December in Montreal. There's a smaller edition of the Montreal Comic Con.
Yeah.
So I may do this one, but other than that, that would be the last one for me.
Were you at Montreal Comic Con this?
Yeah.
So you're not going to go Ottawa Comic Con or any of the other ones? Just
No. I only did the Montreal Comic Con.
Okay.
Maybe next year. I'm not sure. We'll see.
Awesome, Stoney.
Yeah, I don't have anything lined up as far as conventions go. Being way out in Oklahoma, it's few and far between out there. We can do some little shows every now and again, but nothing big.
Okay, Chuck.
Just doing some local small shows. Gonna walk around Fan Expo Chicago this weekend just because apparently I can't get a table. So, but I'm hoping to go to Big Apple Con this fall. It's a small show in Chicago, not the New York Comic Con. But next year, I have a lot coming out next year. I'm gonna have some pretty big announcements for a bunch of books, like a book called The Claims Adjuster, Christopher Kubrick, Nebraska, and Matilda Saved the World from fucking Nazis. A whole bunch of books, a whole bunch of series on pots and panels. So I'll have a lot to have a table for. But right now, I just don't have that much.
Awesome, Brian.
I'm in Tampa Bay Comic Con next week.
Nice.
And that's the first one I've signed up for in this sort of season. I'm, as soon as I like these things to pay for themselves. Like I make table, I use that table, I buy the next table. So we'll see if I can string a few together over the next few months, and I'll get out there.
Okay. Are you in the Artist Alley, or do you have a table number? Or?
I'm in Artist Alley, yeah. So.
Okay. All right. So guys, definitely check out Brian at
A14.
A14. Okay. And what's the website for that?
Tampa Bay Comic. I don't know.
I'll check it out.
TBCC.com.
I just confused Brian.
It is Tampa Bay Comic Convention.com.
All right, let's put that in the chat so everybody can take a look, and then what was the table number again?
A14. And I'll be doing some sketch covers, but you just buy them from me. I'll ship them to you after. I'm there to sell my comics.
Excellent. And it is the Tampa Bay Comic Convention, right?
Yeah.
All right, Steve's too fast for me. And Travis, any conventions you're into, or what are your thoughts?
So I may be showing up to Tampa Bay. I'm still working out the details for that. Daytona, and then the big one is Baltimore. I'll be at Baltimore.
Baltimore. All right. Do you know the address for that?
I think that's Baltimore Comic Con.
Okay, Baltimore Comic Con.
Yeah, comiccon.com, and that's a big one. They do the Ringos there. That's the 50th anniversary. Jim Lee's going to be there. It's a big deal.
Are you
All right.
gonna attend the Ringos or?
No, it's a lot less exciting when they're knocking on to say your name.
Yeah, but the gift bag is cool.
The gift bag is cool, but it was way cooler. We didn't have to pay for it last year, Jerome. Way cooler.
That's for sure.
So Travis, if you are going to Tampa, is it your own table, or are you in the artist alley with Brian?
No, I wouldn't be with Brian. It'd be my own thing. But they're still, we're still talking about it.
Okay, no worries. And at Baltimore, will you have another table there?
Baltimore will at table. I don't think they've sent out the table sheet though, but I will have a table.
All right. So and it will be for Cthulhu, or will it, what your
For Orange Cone.
Orange Cone. Okay, so guys, definitely check out Orange Cone at Tampa Bay Comic Convention and Baltimore Comic Con. Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for being here tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure.
For sure.
Steve, any last comments for our guests, or?
No, I just want to say that anyone who's in the chat or has been viewing, please check out the Kickstarter. They are doing a fantastic job. These guys are not only just great creators, but wonderful human beings. Support them, and let's get them over their asking, that so we can get this out into everyone's hands.
Absolutely. So, guys, once again, amazing work. I wish you guys all the best. Steve, you just want to throw it up one more time? We'll show everybody one last little tease here before we log off. Remember, guys, we're at $19,924 of a $23,000 goal. Literally, they're just shy of $3,000 to their goal, a little bit over that. And we'd love to get these guys over the hump and even get to their first stretch goal. That would be fantastic. Thank you guys for everyone who's backed it already. You guys are amazing. And of course, don't forget about Steel Victory. $1,069 pledged of a $1,000 goal. 50 backers already. 5 days left to go. And of course, upcoming, we do have pots and panels. When that Kickstarter is set to go, when is it again?
October 1st, thereabouts.
October 1st. So keep an eye out for pots and panels coming to Kickstarter. Guys, thank you again for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure. Any final words before we log off, everybody?
Thank you.
I would like to just say once again, thank you, Travis, for having me in your book. I'm very honored, and I am very honored to work with all of you. And thank you for having me on your show.
No problem, Chuck.
Absolutely our pleasure. Before we go, though, I just want to have Bernie have the last word from the comment section. Have a great and safe night, all, and see you when I see you later.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Bernie. Much enjoyed. All right. Good night, everyone. Everyone, thanks for being in the show, and keep it indie.
All right. Thanks.
Have a good night.